Britain's at risk of slipping into recession for the third time since the beginning of the global financial crisis 4 years ago. The country's economy shrank by 0.3% in the last quarter of 2012 and achieved zero growth. The decline of the world's sixth largest economy was blamed on the recession and the Eurozone, bad weather affecting agriculture, and a quick drop in oil and gas output in the North Sea. The country would find itself soon in recession, though, if the economy contracts again in the first quarter of 2013. All the main global ratings agencies have placed Britain on negative watch. The director of the Institute of Economic Affairs in London, Mark Littlewood, says the government should have a different approach to such a burning issue.
Of course, we need to bear in mind when you look back actually a couple of years later, often these numbers are revised up or down, so we shouldn't really trust them to the very last decimal point. What we've seen, it appears, over 2012 is not the British economy absolutely tanking, but basically flatlining. And that has pretty much been the picture for the last 2 years. It's not a crushing recession, but it's certainly not a bounce back. Certainly what the coalition government here in the UK are doing isn't working if the aim is to produce growth rates of 2 or 3%. And indeed, the government's independent forecaster suggested 2 years ago that we would be experiencing those sort of levels in growth in the UK economy about now. And I'm afraid that has turned out to be a pipe dream. But let's be clear about this austerity term that's used a lot. It does seem that the UK government has persuaded itself and most of the media and all of their political opponents that there is some savage programme of spending cuts being undertaken in the United Kingdom. That's a long way from the truth when you actually look at the numbers rather than the political rhetoric. The government is cutting spending by about 1% a year, a pretty trivial amount, and they are taking far, far too long to bring the budget back into balance. They also need, I think, a clearer plan for what's really going to attract business investment in the UK and what's going to make it easier for entrepreneurs.